Are you looking to level up your author business?
Are you pounding your head against a wall, wondering what your next step should be? Then join me, Daniel Wilcox.
And me, Sacha Black, as we haul ass each week in a bid to level up.
Level up!
Come along for the ride as we delve deep into the business of writing,
Craft,
entrepreneurship,
and every level of the author journey. This is the Next Level Author Podcast. Hello Achievers, and welcome to landmark episode 20 of the Next Level Author Podcast, a podcast where we track our step-by-step progress as we level up our author careers. I missed a bit of the line. I screwed this one up a little bit. It's fine.
Yay.
We'll keep going. My name's Daniel Wilcox, and here with me every week is...
Sacha Black.
We hold each other to account. That's the bit I was missing. Oh well.
Yeah,
how are you?
We really do. I am... As my old boss used to say, I am fair to middling. I have had some, really high highs this week, and today was a bit shit. But yeah, so I am fair to middling. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I've had a basically since our strategy day, I've had a good few weeks, or a week and a half. It will be that we're recording. Like I've found, I don't know. I feel like afterwards there's always a tendency to worry that the motivation and all that you get diminishes a little bit, with distance over time and whatnot. But
we hold each other to account every week. So there is a check-in every week. Are you doing what you said you would, bitch?
I pretty much exposed myself raw in terms of the projects that I want to get completed by the end of the year, and the production schedule I've got is doable, but it's challenging. And at the minute I'm keeping up with it, which is good. I'm happy with, it's been to be fair a decent enough week for me. I've not suffered too much from tiredness. I'm giving myself breaks here and there, but I'm also hitting it hard when I need to. And just for the listeners, I think you should celebrate the win that you had this week, or did you want to save that for the next section?
What's the next section? Updates.
Yeah. Personal updates.
Yeah, I'll do it in update.
Okay, personal updates. What's going on, Sacha?
Okay, so I have had since our... Also, can I just... this is our first one since we met up, and now I'm I've seen you in person. So yeah,
I smelled you.
Yeah. Boy smell. What was I don't know. I don't
have boy smell.
All boys have boy smell, just like all girls smell of girls, whatever that smells of. Anyway, what was I saying? No, but it's more now. It's Next Level Authors, 100% plus 1%. It's just a bit more.
It's the next level.
Yeah, it's the next level of next leveling. What was I saying? Also, it feels like I haven't seen you in so long.
It does feel like
been
friggin' ages.
Days.
Yeah, it does feel because it's either a maximum of 7 days, or I don't know. We speak a lot in between, but it does feel like ages since we've done this, even though it hasn't really been.
I need this. I actually am at the point now where I need this every week, because it really is an hour of catharsism, And
this part where I'm whoa, clingy, whoa.
No, this isn't about you. This is me talking about myself. You're just the listening one. No, I'm joking. I am joking. Kind of. Well, I make myself look so bad on this podcast. Why should I agree to do this? Okay, right. Anyway, moving swiftly on. My point was, since our day, I have had loads of revelations, loads of decisions, and I feel like so we had our day, but I feel like you had all of the revelations and stuff on the day. I had a really big one, which we talked about, but I feel like the ripples after all of the things that you said have had an effect over the last 10 days.
Awesome.
So there's been loads of things that I've now processed and I've gone through, and I'm continuing to make changes, which I'll tell you about later. But anyway, so the thing that I achieved, I finished the book that nearly killed me. And honest to God, there were times where I genuinely thought I would not be able to write another fiction book. I thought that was it, because it's taken me 2 years, and I just I really honestly couldn't do it. And now I've done it, and I'm so pleased. And I did it a lot faster than I thought I was going to do. I just basically, I don't know, like I'm saying, all of the things that happened on that day, just it was like a fucking massive snowplow just driving through, and I was just able to do loads of stuff and make loads of decisions. And I've had loads of revelations about how I write and stuff. So yeah.
That's awesome. No, it's absolutely fantastic. And I think it feels good as well from my side, because obviously, like, when we met in person, I think there's an element of, you know, you have a fair amount of success in like a lot of the stuff that you do. And there was an element of like, when we started doing all this, I felt like a bit overwhelmed, because I think you probably get, that look tells me everything that I need to know, because I think it goes both ways, where like we look at each other and it's like, oh, we don't know, you know, there's a lot of work that we need to do on ourselves compared to the other person. But I think on the day itself, it was like nice to have those moments where we were talking and there were the revelations from both sides. And I think actually physically seeing that, and like you say, then those roll-on revelations that you have, it's just, I don't know, really sort of, I guess, validates that meeting up and the fact that this is helpful.
Yeah, and maybe also speaks to how each of us processes, because we're both external thinkers, but I think I require more like time for that to happen, because and I genuinely attribute a lot of the things that have happened in the last week or two to that day. Like, that is where they came from. It's just that it's taken me a few days to process and to go through them. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you offline. Anyway, just keep going.
Okay, in my personal update, I managed to finish the first and second draft of When Winter Comes, episode 4.
You machine, that's amazing.
I literally, like, I am quite pleased with this. I literally it's 20,000 words an episode, and I did it in 3 days for the first draft, just because I like buckled down and just got my ass in the seat and did it. And then I literally wrapped up editing today, and that's gone to sort of beta readers and stuff. So that's going. Well, the pre-order's live for the 2nd of September, so it was kind of like it had to happen. And I've literally just put up a pre-order for episode 5 as well in October, so that like it's a constant chain of people going to the next book. So happy with that. And then I think we're okay to announce as well. I'll put a note here about our good friend Jay Thorne. I don't know if so Jay Thorne is basically doing a huge non-fiction series called The 9 Things Career Authors Don't Do. And I think it's something that people might have guessed is somehow connected by some of the things that Sacha said over the past few months. But yeah, it's basically Jay leads in with an intro book to that series, and then he's collaborated, as he does, because he's, you know, the collaboration god, with 1,000 different people and created a whole host of different books that are aimed to help career authors become career authors, really. And they cover all different topics. I don't know if you want to say a little bit about your books that are coming out very soon.
Yes, well, it just so happens that I recorded an episode with Jay last night, so I remember some of the ones that in the series. So he has books on things not to do with your morning, with podcasting. He's got
finance.
Personal finance,
exercise.
Rebellion, exercise, social media. So there's lots and lots of, basically it feels like he's covering every single facet of being a career author. It's going to be such a comprehensive series. And one of the things that he mentioned that I really liked is that one of the reasons for collaborating is he wanted people who are passionate about those topics to write about those topics. So for example, I've written one on rebel mindset. How unpredictable. But the other one I wrote was personal finance. And that's because I went on my own journey of getting rid of like £40,000 worth of debt. I know, but in my defense, some of it was student debt, but not
it's
all
still
of it.
a hell of a mountain to climb. Jesus.
I know, and it didn't take me very long either, because I just had tunnel vision with getting rid of it. Anyway, not the point. I'm deeply passionate about helping other writers to view money differently, because I genuinely believe that a lot of the reason that people can't leave their day jobs is because of debt. So yes, that is why I wrote that one. And that one's quite personal as well, because I talk about some of the things, well, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so yes, the series is excellent, and we will put links in the show notes.
Yes, there'll be a link to the series in there as well. And I will add that I've also got a book in there as well, which will be coming out at some point in the future. Not sure when the exact date is, but yeah, I cover all things marketing because that's my baby, that's my background. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how that goes for Jay. And I've also got, is your recording with him? I love that we're discussing this in there. Is your recording with him for the Rebel Author?
So just spoil it, God. So yes, it is. So there's 2 mini episodes. One is on Rebel mindset and one is on personal finance, and one of them will go live on Thursday next week, the 20th. Bonus episode for anyone that listens to the Rebel Author, and which my patrons got today, and the next one will go live in September sometime.
Beautiful. I was just going to say, because I'm also doing a recording with him as well, where he's going to go on the Great Writer's Share. So watch out for that, folks, as well. It's going to be everywhere for the next few weeks. Okay.
Just pour himself out, everyone. Go buy the series. That's the important message here.
What's one thing that you've enjoyed this week?
Oh, buckets. I always forget about this. Wait, because The Umbrella Academy. Oh my days. I love that series.
I keep seeing it advertised. I've not got anywhere near it yet.
Yeah, it is so good. I love it. And for anybody who's watched, so basically it's about this group of kids who were all born at the same moment on the same day, and they basically have superpowers, and they were adopted by a bastard who basically brought them up to like practice their powers and stuff, and they all have really distinct personalities. And my favorite is this kid called Five, who is originally he's like 16, 17, and then he basically gets transported through time and ends up as like a 55-year-old in a 17-year-old's body, and he's fucking hilarious. And I just love his grumpy old man attitude in a very young body. And like I find it really highly amusing. I just like that kind of old man trapped in a young person like character. There's some other characters I can think of that are similar, but anyway, yeah, so I've been enjoying that. Oh, and I also, sorry, I'm cheating. Wait, no, never mind. I'm not going to cheat this week.
Okay,
I'm
that's
just
fine.
going to take a sip of my drink instead.
It makes a change. The thing that I've enjoyed this week is really, really just selfish, but basically I bought a car on Monday, which wasn't in my plan for any time soon, but I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs, but people who have listened to sort of the Great Writers Share and know a little bit of my journey know that a lot of things changed at the end of last year, and I've basically been without a vehicle for the best part of 7 months, and going everywhere on push bike, which isn't a horrible thing. Like, I have no complaints about it, but finally being in a position where I've now got a car and I can, ferry my son around and do some fun things and just do more. Come visit you. Hell yes. Yeah. We will. Let's actually sort out a date after the recording of this.
Okay.
Yeah, let's pin it. But yeah, it's just one of those levels of freedom, and basically I've got like a hit list of steps that I'm trying to like hit in my personal life, and that's a big one that happens a lot sooner than I expected.
Wait for it to level up.
God, you seem so. Jesus. Wow.
Sorry.
Well, that is the theme of the whole podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have leveled up, sir.
I have. I'm very, very happy about it. And it's a nice little, it's a pretty little Peugeot 206. Very, very happy with it. So, yeah. When
you come here, because never mind. I'll tell you afterwards. Just never mind. Oh God, never mind. Just don't, it's going to sound ridiculous on air. I'll tell you afterwards.
Weekly confessional. Have we been doing what we said we were going to do? Last week, I said I would write up a production schedule or write up the production schedule and stick to it and do the actions from the day. And I have done those things. That sounds really vague, but yes, I've been sticking to the production schedule. I've gone through all the actions, and I've been chipping through them and working through them and getting them done. So, have
you got mine there? What does it say? Because I haven't.
Sacha, finish last ever client edit, process what we talked about, create an action plan, and make some progress on the mailing list move.
Yes, so I did process, because I talked about that at the beginning. It took me longer than I thought it would to process, but I just think my subconscious
it was a really heavy day. Like just as that side note, like we both sat there at about like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and we're like, I don't know how much more we can do. Like we just
can we just sit in silence now?
Yeah.
Just sit next to each other in silence. That'll do. I was mush, and actually I was exhausted for 2 days after that as well. Like I haven't peopled that much in ages, and oh wait, what was the and yes, so I wrote up an action plan. I've put it in my business journal, which I got this because of Holly HB Line. She introduced me to the.
That's a big ass book.
It is. It's the. I'm gonna fuck up the word. Is it Luke term? Whatever it is. Anyway, and so
A4?
This is my. Yes, it is. Yeah.
It looks A3. So, you're
no,
quite
it's
small.
A4. Anyway, my action plan is there, and I did work on the mailing list. The fucking mailing list is turned into something much bigger than I wanted it to. But basically, I have come up with a new strategy for doing. So I'm changing my whole approach, because my last autoresponder series and mailing list thing was focused just on the fact that I had a book about villains. So you can tell how old it was. So now I am changing my cheat sheet stuff to like a whole writing craft starter course. I think that's what I'm calling it. And so like in the series, I'll do 3 lessons. One on villains, one on heroes, one on prose, and I'm also turning them all into videos. So if you don't like reading it, you can watch the video instead. Yes, and after our conversation today, there'll also then be a second autoresponder sequence, and I'm updating the reader magnets, and then I will have to update the back of the book. So it's actually quite a lot bigger than I want it to be, but I think what this will do is it will set it up so that I then don't have to change it again for a really long time. But yes, I've done 3 of the emails, 1 of the videos, and I've trashed 1 of the cheat sheets, and I started editing the other one. So yeah, like I've done a lot. It's
Beautiful.
Not finished, but it's going to take me maybe 6 weeks to get it done.
Nice. And let's dive into comments, but I think just because we've got a lot, but like, thank you to everyone who has commented. We've had so many over the past few weeks. I don't think we're going to be able to get through all of them. And obviously we need to dive into this week's question.
And I'm just going to apologize because I mentioned on one of the other podcasts that I wasn't getting notifications, so I clicked notifications and silly old fucking me still fucked it up. Yeah, so I only clicked highlights, and I've now realized that I had to click all of them. So I've done that today. So I apologize. I only saw Caitlin's comments, so I'm going to go back after this episode and reply to some of them. But so on the leveling up, we've got Richie saying, well, on the way to leveling up to book 2, Victoria LK Williams talking about doing the publishing work and working on backlist, Meg Cowley talking about wanting to earn 5 figures by a month by year end.
Oh man.
But COVID's had a huge impact alongside some personal things, but she also said we definitely need an NLA summit in the meantime. Can we have a boozy author boozy weekend, which I totally agree with.
Hell yes.
So Caitlin said leveling up is going better than expected after quarter 2, especially because of the accountability in this group. Love it. Taking a self-publishing course and been in a mastermind for several months with someone on my level, which has been fantastic, because I think that's what we talked about last time. Yes, so that's really good to hear. So also thank you to Amy, Edwin, Holly, and also we had comments on YouTube as well from Yanni and Chris Kane. So thank you everyone.
Beautiful. And I'll just quickly hit some of the ones from How Do You Control Your Time? And Maddie left a fantastic Doctor Strange gif. Meg Cowley said she uses a bullet journal, and she uses a Forest app, which we both use as a kind of cut out everything app for your phone that you can set for however long you want to set. That's fantastic. And just generally cutting down on social media. Edwin says, how do you control your time? I sneak up on it when it's distracted and steal a few moments, hoping it'll be enough to get the job done, which I think we can all empathize with. Carrie Hardisky, how do I control my time? I'm a mum with a toddler. Yep. And then we had comments from Victoria L.K. Williams, Michael Nasberg, Casey Ryan, and Jeff Adams. So thank you, everyone, for getting involved and leaving your comments.
And I will be better at replying next week.
Yeah, if you could try, that'd be fantastic.
Yes. Sorry.
I'm kidding. But no, I mean, just on a personal note as well, just seeing the amount of input that people are doing each week growing is just fantastic, and constantly seeing new names in there. So we do appreciate everyone commenting. We do normally take the time to read it. That's not a dig. And yeah, thank you. We do reply in the chats as well. But now onto your question, Miss Penelope. So mine's a two-parter.
Okay.
But I'll save the second part because it, I think, relies strongly on whatever your answer is for the first one. And the question is, how fast can you write?
Oh. Okay, so I am going to tell you the thing then. So I brought an iPad this evening, a refurbished one. And basically, I am not going to put anything other than Scrivener on it. So one of the things I did this week was to move my Scrivener files into Dropbox so I can access them on my phone if we're out and I get some inspiration, or I'm just basically trying to maximize the opportunities to write. So instead of writing on my computer, which has fucking iMessages, fucking social media, my emails, Slack, yeah, all of that good stuff. It doesn't matter, even if I turn on self-control, which is like an app thingy that locks everything off. The minute the timer goes, I receive 5,000 notifications, and I love being able to talk to everybody and getting all of the notifications, but I am weak-willed, and I will reply and I will check my emails, and it doesn't matter how much self-control I want to have. I don't have that self-control on this computer. So psychologically, I'm like, I'm going to create a different habit with a different device, in that kind of association type thing. So I will get to the point and answer your question.
I can see where this is going.
Yeah, so basically I have the like QWERTY old school keyboard typewriter that is also Bluetooth, so I'll be able to put the iPad on that. I'm going to allow a notes app on it, the Scrivener app, and something that I will put the books on for when I'm doing the audio narration, so that I can have the iPad in there to read it rather than reading it off my phone. And that's fucking it. I'm not having email. I am not putting email on it. I'm not putting Facebook on it. I'm not putting fucking Slack on it. I'm not putting fucking anything on it. And I will write on it. And that is all I'm going to do. So I'm going to create the association. And I've been talking about this for a while. And I was going to buy a really expensive thing. And I was like, no. So I just got a refurbished. Is this instead of the... Yes, it is instead of the expensive device. So it was 155 quid. Like, that was it. Wow. It's refurbished. Yeah, it was refurbished. It's not brand new. Because I was like, I want the functionality, not anything else. So to actually answer your question, it really depends. And I honestly think that some of my ability to type is mindset. And I am having a violent reaction to saying that, because I don't really want to admit it, but I think some of it, don't you fucking look at me like that. Some of it is about mindset, right? And fuck you, Dan. But okay, so wait, okay, hang on.
I said nothing.
No, you are saying everything with that. I can tell what you're saying. Right, you definitely write faster than me, and this isn't about comparing. Like, I don't have as fast typing speed as you, but I can type faster than I think I can type. So I think, like, so this week I had 2 days where I wrote like between 3,000 and 4,000 words, which I have masqueraded around saying that I can only write 2k a day, which is a load of bullshit. I can write far more than that if I want to. I don't think I'll ever get to 10k a day, but I do think 5k might be within my reach. So the interesting thing for me is my goal is to be able to write 3k between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. So like when Atlas goes back to school, that's my goal, is to get to 3k. And I did about 2,700 between 8 a.m. and 11:30 on one day this week. So that's almost there. And then it took me until 3 p.m. to do another 1,300 words. Right. So obviously I reached capacity, because it then took me, the same amount of time to do half as many words. But it's a muscle. So in terms of sprints, okay, sometimes I would say I average, in a 20-minute sprint, I average 300 to 500 words. On an amazing sprint in 20 minutes, I might get, if it's non-fiction especially, I could probably get 750 to 850, I would say. So that's a very long-winded answer, but nice. Hopefully I've answered.
Yeah.
How about you, Dan?
So I'll save the second part of that question, an answer from my side. And I will add a caveat to this, because what I don't want us to come across is like you said, it's not a case of comparing to other people. This isn't like everyone's on their personal journey. I do have a big writing speed, and this isn't a question for me to brag about that. Oh, that's not where I'm going with this.
And hang on a second though, you have spent a really long time building that up as well.
Yeah,
let's be clear.
Absolutely.
Like, it's taken you a really long time, and you have focused on that, and that's why you've got to where you've got to with your writing speed.
Yeah. So when I first started writing, I used to be happy with 300 a day, and that would take me like an hour, 2 hours at least. As of the last year or two, I've found that in a 20-minute sprint I can write 1,000 words sort of comfortably. On some occasions that can be 700 if it's a bit of a sticky chapter. On some occasions I have hit sort of 1,200 in that time, which obviously then means over an hour period, if I was to do 3 solid 20-minute sprints in a row, I could do between 2,500 3,000 words an hour. That's theoretical, and that's all what's the word, like in a dream world, because normally I then take 15 to 20 minutes break between each sprint, and I get carried away on YouTube. I do all this other stuff. But when it comes to actually sprinting, it is a case of I've gotten to a point where I can zero down. I've built that muscle, and I turn off the critical editor and I just fucking write. And I will add as well, this is specifically for first drafting. Like, editing's a whole different ball game. But yeah, it's one thing where I found that everyone has their own different speeds, and particularly when I've been doing sprints with a lot of different people over the past few weeks and months, it's interesting seeing everyone's speed, and it's interesting seeing people's speed grow. And I was sitting there, not maybe smugly, as you were saying all that, because like I so believe that how much you can write, what your outputs are totally tied to your mindset. And as an example, so the last week I've had 3 days where I've hit 10k words in a day. One day where I hit 11,500. My highest I've ever done, I think, is 12,500 in a day, and that was a push. But in the months before that strategy day we did, I was telling myself again that muscle was gone and that I could only do 3,000 to 5,000 a day. But there's something about focus. There's something about, now that I know what my goals are, and now I've got I have to hit this production schedule, otherwise it fucks everything else up. Having that, just erasing excuses, because it's very easy, particularly when we do what we do, to give yourself an afternoon off, or just to take it easy one morning, or to do whatever. And I do find that my best days are if I can just write from, I don't know, I get up and start writing 6. If I did 6 till 12, and I could smash out my words, get it done, and then I've got the rest of the day clear. But then the last few months, I've had days where I've just let those words drag through the day. And I think that's what part of my problem's been with my mental state, because it's then felt like work has been all encompassing all day. Whereas, for example, last week I finished, I think, the 11.5k by 2-3 o'clock. And I was I had the rest of the day, and I was like, okay, I'm happy then. And the biggest example of that kind of mindset shift I've seen is a guy called Craig Falconer, who I interviewed on the Great Writers Share, who is a sci-fi writer who used to go on about how he could only write I think 2,000 words a day. He was a really slow writer, blah, 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 blah. And then if you listen to the episode, he goes on to about how he was writing 13,000 words a day and how he never thought he'd do it. And it's literally like, I'm not discounting that some people are obviously different and whatnot, but there is definitely like a mindset shift. But part of what has made me get to a point where I have to write fast in order to do all the things that I want to do at the minute, because I ghostwrite, which means I have to get words done for other people. And then if I want any time to work on my own stuff, I have to be fast. So that's kind of where it's at. And I've said to you a few times, like, I want to be in a position where I can slow down. But at the minute, for me, it's necessity. I have to.
So I completely agree with everything that you said, but I'm going to add something to it. And so you've talked about how a lot of it's mindset, and I completely agree, but I think it's more than mindset. And I think the shift for me this week has been understanding how I write. Mm-hmm. And realizing that and knowing that it's literally like I feel like the universe has pushed the door open, you know, like, so I do feel like you have to work out how you write in order to, so we talked a bit about that in one of the other episodes, but I think my process in terms of the actual doing, it has changed again. And I think knowing that really helps you.
Beautiful. Okay. Part B. Does it matter?
What? How fast you write?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. I mean, no, it doesn't.
You said that like I was telling you off.
Well, because like I'm yes and no. So like in terms of comparing to anybody else, no, it doesn't matter. I don't give a shit what anybody else writes. I don't care how fast anybody else writes. That's completely their journey. What matters to me is producing enough creative work at a pace that satisfies me. And I haven't been producing at the rate that satisfies me, but I actually don't think that's got anything to do with how fast I write. I think that's more to do with me not focusing on the right things.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think basically one of the reasons I wanted to ask this question, there seems to be a huge emphasis on obviously like rapid release. There seems to be an emphasis on writing fast, and it's something where I've seen people really struggle to try and want to increase their writing speed and then get disheartened when they can't, or when they haven't been able to, not that they can't. And I think it depends completely on what your why is, because you can hear, you know, people all over Facebook or wherever will say that they've had 5,000 to 10,000 word days. But my question is always, how clean are those words? Not saying that people can't write fast and write well, because I know it can happen. And actually, I personally would argue that the faster I write, the more I let my sort of subconsciousness just tell the story and it comes out cleaner than if I like jar it. But
the faster I write, usually the better the plot. Doesn't necessarily mean the prose is good enough. Like, so I would say writing my fast speed is good for my plot always, but it's not necessarily good for the final polished one, because it takes me some time to get the prose to sound the way that I want it to sound.
Yeah, and I think it's totally dependent on people. I do know some people who they've come to peace with the fact that, you know, it might take them months to write the first draft, because that is genuinely just their process, and that's okay. And I think, like you say, it's understanding what your process is, and then also trying to align that with what your goals are. Because like you say, if your goal is to produce X amount of work a year, then you can find a way to make that happen. If it's, you know, just to write something that you're happy with and you don't care about writing fast, then that's fine. But I think there doesn't need to be that amount of pressure on writing fast. And I know that, like, I'll go into like our sprints when we do Poison and Prose and stuff, and you get like all the people jumping in and just like, oh, Dan's going to smash out words. It's like, yeah, that's my process. Like it's there's no comparison. I'm not trying to beat anyone apart from myself. Like I don't expect to be in competition with anyone else. I think the only person that you can compete with, particularly in this business, is yourself, and that's all you should care about, in my humble opinion.
No, I completely agree.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to be asking you guys the same question, which is how fast can you write, and does it matter? And Sacha, how are you leveling up for next week?
That is a good question.
Give me a good answer.
Well, so I am going to do 3 things, and I'm wording them all carefully. I am going to continue skinny drafting Sirens. I didn't know I was going to do that. I wasn't really anticipating doing that, but apparently I've now done like 3,000 words of skinny drafting, which I hadn't really expected to do. So yeah, I'm going to continue skinny drafting Sirens. I'm going to continue work on the autoresponder mailing list move, and I am going to continue work on the prose course. I have now filmed one of the videos. Yay. So yes, I'm going to continue on those 3 things. So Sirens, which is the next book, the mailing list, and the course.
I feel like our strategy day gave me very, very easy next level up steps, because literally mine's like stick to the production schedule because it's fucking brutal. It's not brutal. It does have breathable space if I stick to it right. But yeah, I am going to add a couple of things because I think there's a few things that I need to get done because it is pissing me off and slowing me down. So number 1 is stick to the production schedule, which I won't go into the ins and outs of that, but I know that you know what's on that. And number 2, I'm going to sort out the cover design brief because I'm getting a new skin for when winter comes, because I've realized that I've misaligned the artwork with the audience and I want the final box set to stand out. And number 3 is I'm going to shift the things that I need to off my laptop onto my PC so I can send my laptop off for repair and finally get the keyboard fixed, because that's a massive bug of mine at the minute. So those 3 things.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this week. Level up, be good, achieve, prosper. And we'll see you next week.
Motherfuckers. No.
Bye. We'll leave it there.
Bye.
Hungry for more?
If you enjoyed this podcast, you can hear more of my angelic accent and Dan's dulcet tones on our other podcasts.
For more of me, check out the Great Writers Share podcast.
For more of me, listen to the Rebel Author podcast. We'll be back next week holding each other to account as Dan
and Sacha
become
next level
authors.